I am secure enough in my masculinity to say that you have a nice ass, Bruce. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. I'm your host, Sam Randazzo. I am joined by my two... I don't even know. How do we even describe today? Just gray. But it's Victory Monday, so it's not that gray, but it's cold and it's not nice. And these are just my co-hosts. To my right, it is the one and only. It's Uncle Sam.
Hello.
And to my left, it is none other than our very own Mr. Zolo, Mike Palazzola.
Just co-host.
Just co-host. Behind the computer, with a Virginia ham under his arm, complaining about the fact that he doesn't have bread. Absolutely.
I don't know when I said that.
Absolutely.
Burning the bridge at both ends.
Downright just from head to toe smothered in goo. It's Bruce the Tugboat Venditti.
I'm always covered in goo.
Extra pink today. Looking extra pink from that nice chill in the air
That's
today.
why you got a winter hat on and a fucking hoodie on, by the way.
Because
That's what I wear every day.
He's chilly
That's what I
today.
wear every day.
He's a little bit chilly.
A little high. You high right now?
Every day. I was like this at work. I
thought
don't
you
know
smoke
what.
a little bit just to
No,
make
he's real
yourself-
aggravated today.
Yeah, because he was a
Yeah.
irritated little bitch
Yeah,
today.
he's real aggravated today, so I don't think he's stoned yet. Welcome. It's Victory Monday. We got a lot to break down. First and foremost, Uncle Sam, how was your weekend? And I would like you to give me something more than good. I want something. I want you to give me something from your weekend.
I watched the Mike Tyson fight and was totally disgusted.
There we
It
go.
was humiliating.
This is good.
I thought it was humiliating. I think it was rigged, personally, because the training regiment that he was showing everybody didn't coincide with what you seen. He didn't have no legs. He looked like he was stoned when he walked to the ring. Can't explain it, don't know it, don't really care. But, there's a lot of people that actually put money on this guy thinking it was a legit thing.
Yeah.
And that's fucking wrong. It really is. It's wrong. What am I? We cut out already, Bruce?
No.
It's wrong.
No,
I feel it's wrong that kind of stuff would happen, especially in this day and age. I mean, if you're going to do something like that, actually put toward a real. I thought his effort was half-hearted and not real. That's just my assessment of it. I mean, I can't explain it. And Jake Paul, let me enlighten you on something. If you had a guy in front of you that can't move forward, backwards, lateral, you should have took him out within 3-4 rounds. That shit you were pulling in there was dog shit. I personally think I know he's a boxer. It's not like he's fake. He is a boxer. He just handpicks his opponents and probably pays them off so he doesn't get the shit beat out of him. That's all I've seen. I mean, he ain't gonna fight nobody. He said he'd fight Canelo at 200 pounds. I don't think he would ever see that. I would, if I was Canelo, I would go in there at a $160 and fight him.
and just beat the piss out of him.
I would fight him go in there whatever weight he fights at and fight him. Because I've watched big guys get the shit kicked out of them by smaller dudes. So if I was Canelo, I would do it. I would want me a nice $30 million payday, walk in there and clean his shit.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a good fighter, I get it. If he's going to outweigh him by 30 pounds, I've seen Floyd Mayweather get outweighed by 30 pounds and beat the shit out of people. I'm sure Canelo could do it too. The difference is Canelo's got a punch, a real punch.
My takeaways from the Tyson-Paul fight
Yeah.
were how incredibly great the two women that fought before him were.
They were awesome. They were really good. And the two Latino dudes that fought before them were very
They
good
were
also.
too. But
They were
those-
very
The
good.
two women that fought before Jake Paul and Mike
Yes,
Tyson.
they were
absolutely
outstanding.
beat the
That was a
inside.
rematch.
That was a
They've already
fantastic
fought
fight.
once.
And I thought
Yeah.
it should
They
have
fight
went the
often.
other way. I thought it should have went the other way, personally.
I did too. I thought she got hosed a little bit. But
Disagree.
Amanda
know what?
Serrano fights are always good, by the way. Every time she
Yeah.
fights, it's good.
The other takeaway I had from this fight was let's check real quick here. Netflix.
Netflix is a joke. They have no business doing any kind of.
Netflix.
I had no issues
Live
with my stream the
shit.
entire night. It never cut out one time, and I knew this.
Really?
I knew this was happening.
Were you
too.
watching it on your phone?
No,
Oh.
I was watching it on a.
Netflix.
That was the
4K
only.
TV.
That was the only way we could get it to work was using your data on your phone.
I don't know how many billions of dollars Netflix is worth, and I don't know how many hundreds of millions of people.
Listen, none of their
use it.
microphones work.
Dude, the
We got
sound
better
cutout,
microphones here.
The buffering, I had to. What I was doing is I would have it on my phone and on the TV at one point because when the TV would cut out, I would go to refresh it and then watch on my phone, and the phone would cut out, and I just had to keep going back and forth. It was awful.
I actually didn't have issues while the fights were going on. It was
I
all
did.
that pre-shit,
I couldn't
which I didn't
get
want to watch
anything.
any of that shit.
It was
anyway.
almost unbearable for me to watch.
Yeah.
The thing I'm worried about is Netflix has the Christmas Day 2024 games.
Right. If,
It's gonna be a
if you think you got crashed doing this fight, it's gonna be even worse with 2 NFL games.
The highlight was Mike Tyson's butt cheeks.
Yes, it was.
In WWE world, we're panicking because they get Monday Night Raw starting January 2nd. But in fairness to Netflix, there were 65 million people concurrently watching it, and I think the household number was high as well. And that's the problem is they just didn't have the servers to handle. That was big. Like that was a big deal. That fight. I think it was the biggest draw for a boxing fight ever in terms of like eyeballs actually
it
watching
was.
it.
People
That's
The
deserve
most
to get-
watched.
That's
Oh,
the
because it
problem.
wasn't pay-per-view. That's why.
Right.
Yeah. Whereas the NFL, as big as it is, it's not going to outdraw that fight, you know?
No.
So I don't think they're going to have to worry about it for the NFL, but it's something to worry about. It's something to think about.
Honest to God, the thing, if I don't know if anybody watched it, but we'll shout out to Garrett here. UFC on Saturday night. Oh yeah. The John Jones fight. Yeah. Much better actual content there than there was from.
Oh,
the
John. That's because John Jones is
absolute man.
The GOAT.
a stone cold killer.
He is an
So
absolute.
is his
man.
brother.
I'll bet we'll get an Aspinall announcement soon.
Zolo, how was your weekend? High points, low points, pits, peaks.
It was good. Nothing crazy. Went to the game for half yesterday. We celebrated my grandma's 100th
half.
birthday again yesterday as well.
Oh, very nice. Shout out to Zolo's grandma for being
Today's her birthday. Happy birthday, Nani.
Happy birthday.
Happy
100 years
birthday.
old, my grandma.
100 years old.
Her and Jimmy Carter.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're both 100.
Yeah, but my grandma walks and talks. No one wheels
Oh.
her around.
They don't. Yeah. Well,
Somebody rolled him
if
in
somebody
to vote
still
for
got
Kamala.
their shit with them at 100 years old, that you got to give them their props. I know people that are half the age that don't have their shit together.
They lived through the Depression. They lived through World War II. They lived
World War One.
the Cold War. No, she doesn't go back to World War One.
No.
Cold War though. World War One ended in 1918, 1917. So she missed it. Her mom was
1918.
her mom was alive for World War One.
If it was
though. Her mom
1918, she'd be
committed.
107.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Bruce, how was your weekend? I guess I'll ask.
You guess?
Yeah, I guess.
It's all right.
You know, people with a Virginia ham under their arm that are worried
Smoked a
about
lot of
loaves
dope.
bread.
Went to the football game.
There's a lot coming from somebody with soft hands. That's all.
These hands ain't soft, bud.
They're fucking soft.
These hands ain't soft.
Those are some soft hands.
Yeah.
You might want to put.
Coming a lot from somebody with soft balls.
Mm-hmm.
You got soft balls, Bruce.
Tip balls.
Smoke more weed, Bruce. Smoke more weed. We need to give a shout out here to President Baker, who had a very unfortunate loss today. He lost his cat. So
I didn't know Leon has a cat.
He has a
Well,
cat.
had a cat.
Yeah.
What was your cat's name, Leon?
He sent me a picture of the cardboard box that the cat's currently in.
You could have sent us a picture of the cat.
No, I don't want to see the cat, dead cat.
I do. I want to see the cat.
I don't want to see.
I don't believe you.
And also, he did bring something up.
Okay.
Taysom Hill may be the next death, taxes, and anytime touchdown. Taysom Hill with 3.
I hear you. He was.
And I believe you were the one that said Taysom Hill anytime
I did.
touchdown. I know.
You had a prop as well that was good that I can't remember.
I had-
Jonnu Smith.
I had the Johnny
Johnny
Smith
Smith?
anytime.
Smith,
I
yeah.
also had the Gibbs and Montgomery anytime. Actually, I did
That's
pretty. We did
automatic.
pretty well this
on the
weekend.
props.
I did pretty well on
Yeah.
my props this weekend, I must say. President Baker in the chat, he has 2 cats, Caden and Jayden.
Caden and Jayden?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Leon, let us know which one died so we can throw up some T's and P's.
Send
for
Sam a
Caden.
picture of them so I can see
do not
them.
want to see the dead cat. Please
Not the
do
dead
not
one,
send me a
them
picture
alive.
of the dead cat.
The cat's alive.
Jesus. I don't want to see any pictures of dead cats.
What was that?
Talking about dead animals really pissed
Oh,
off
we just
TikTok.
got shadow banned on TikTok for talking about dead
Sorry,
cats.
we
There
just
go.
got banged.
Sorry, TikTok.
How do you know
Anyways,
we got shadow
They
banned?
just told him on the
Live visibility restricted, and yeah.
live visibility
great.
You
restriction.
can't read that quick, can you?
Why you get shadow banned for talking about a dead cat?
Violation. Well, we got hit with everything. Sexual suggestive.
We didn't do anything
I didn't say
sexual.
anything like that. Why? Because I said softballs.
Oh yeah,
Softballs?
That is
Softballs.
Softballs.
Softball. Hello.
Can we end the live and then start it up again? Is that possible or no?
That might be our best.
You know what, dude? Should we just? I'm just done with this shadow bang bucket shit. I'm done with that, dude. Hey, do me a favor. Delete TikTok, you Chinese ran motherfuckers.
Oh, anyways, it was a great weekend of NFL action. I think we should start talking about the games. It was some good football this weekend. And the game that I think we should start out with is one that unfortunately I fell asleep.
Oh,
I fell asleep. I saw the comeback. I watched it happen, and I was holding on for dear life. Granted, I know some people in here claim I have soft hands while they were sitting in a nice warm Ford Field yesterday, drunk off beers, but I was actually outside doing yard work all day. I fell asleep with about a minute and a half left in this game, and the game was tied. Sunday Night Football, the Chargers hosted the Bengals. Chargers come out on top 34-27. Story here. The Chargers were down, was it 27 or no, 24-6 at the half?
The Bengals were down.
Bengals were down 24-6 at the half. Chargers come out, third quarter, get another field goal. They're down 27-6. At that point, I thought this game was over, personally. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to hang around. Crazier shit has happened. Chargers score Bengals score 3 unanswered, tie this game up 27-27. And Chargers get a late J.K. Dobbins touchdown to win the game. I'm ready. I'm there. I am sticking a fork. I am writing off. The season is done for the Cincinnati Bengals. I said going into this game that if they wanted to not only make the playoffs, but be in contention for the playoffs, they had to win this game. They're 4-7 now. It doesn't really get any easier for them from here. Granted, they have a few gimme games, but I don't think they're going to be able to do what it takes, especially if your wild card opponents are this Chargers team and or the Denver Broncos team we saw absolutely annihilate Atlanta yesterday. Cincinnati is not there. Defensively, they're not there. They made some great adjustments coming out of the half, and they were able to throw a little wrench into what the Chargers were doing there for a second. Their offense can be extremely explosive at times, but they cannot put together a complete game. They have massive holes on the offensive line. It's not there. They are not good enough to make it into the playoffs. They're not. They're going to lose games that they should win going forward, and I'm writing off Cincinnati. You're probably going to say, oh, I guess we'll see, but I'm ready to write off Cincinnati.
There's how many weeks left? 7 weeks?
This was week 11, so we're going into week 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 7 weeks.
7 weeks left.
7 weeks. You have to remember.
They need to win the next 7 weeks and have some teams lose.
They're on the bye
I
now,
mean,
which
they're on a
doesn't really
bye.
help them.
that doesn't
Which
help.
does not help them. And then they come out of the bye and play Pittsburgh,
Okay.
to which they have to play twice.
Did you know they said that who was it? Pittsburgh has only played one divisional game so
this
far.
weekend
That
was their
yesterday.
first divisional game.
Yeah. So you know what? I'm not gonna. You know what? I'm gonna say they're not out of it yet.
They have
They're
to play
not out of
Pittsburgh
it.
twice.
I understand that.
No, they're done.
You know what?
done.
I watched the Detroit Lions win 7-8 games and then went 0-6 in the division and they lost.
But this is the hypothetical that I have for you, right? There's no way they beat Pittsburgh twice. They're going to split with Pittsburgh. So that's one loss. And they have to play Cleveland.
You know what?
And I know what. Hold on.
Don't ever say never.
I'm telling you.
All right.
They have to play Cleveland, and you're the one who always says, divisional games.
Those divisional games are
And-
a different level.
And they have to play Denver, who I have a complete change of heart on as of today. So they're going to lose at least 2 more games. In my
Don't know why it's today. I've been telling you that.
How many losses they have? 8.
They're 4-7.
They're 4-7.
They're 4-7. So even if they lose 2 more, the best they do is 8-9.
And one of the teams that they're fighting with, they lost to last night.
Correct.
And we've been saying that
And-
for a month.
In my opinion now, because we're at the Chargers are almost there. The Chargers, in my opinion, are 2 to 3 wins away from.
Do you think they
clinching
could
the
catch
wild card.
Cincinnati
You mean Kansas City?
Hold on,
or
hold
Kansas
on.
City?
Real
We'll talk
quick,
about that.
real quick. Jonathan Vasquez, we will talk about. We're going to get to the Broncos. They're coming up here soon, in the next 15, 20 minutes. I promise. Please stay around. And Jonathan Vasquez, Keenan, will go over Nico Collins later on in the show. Just real quick on Cincinnati, you have been saying. I think you said it for the first time maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago that the winner of that game probably gets in.
This game was a must-win for Cincinnati.
Chris Collinsworth absolutely nailed it last night in the second half when Cincinnati came out and started balling. He goes, what probably happened is they went into the locker room at the half and said, listen, this second half is our season. If we don't win this game, we're done, which is exactly, I think that's the case. I just think that there's clear front runners in the AFC right now for the wild card spots. And it's just, I don't think, again, we make this excuse for the Bengals every year about how they start slow. Oh, they always start slow. You can't do that. You cannot start slow. They needed 1 or 2 of those games back. They needed one of those Ravens games. Mathematically, they're not out of it, but this was mid-level. Of course, the Chargers are very good. I'm willing to say the Chargers are very good at the moment, but this was still mid-level competition compared to playing the Steelers twice, and they couldn't win. So I just think mathematically, it's just going to be there was no margin for error, and now it's gone. It's completely gone. So I don't think they can pull it off. Personally, Cincinnati. That's just my 2 cents.
I think they're dead. I'm sticking a fork in Cincinnati.
Which is crazy because this is also Joe Burrow's best season ever.
Joe Burrow, hypothetically, if you switch their record, he's favorite for MVP today, not Josh Allen. 100%.
I agree.
And it's just not good. It's not good.
Brian, Cowboys are going to the playoffs. We just need to win and out to get in. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah, please.
Brian, we're talking about Brian right now.
This is the thing, right? Cincinnati,
Shout out to all of you on TikTok, please.
The only feasible way they do it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is they win the next 6 and go 10-7. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
You never know.
Yeah, I know. And you know what?
You never know.
God.
You never know. Can happen. Teams get hot.
Okay. On the opposite side of this, now we're not really talking about the Chargers as a playoff team anymore. We're talking about whose season can they ruin. Because I truly think
I think a lot of teams.
I think that this
I'm
Chargers team
going to be
now,
honest with you. I think they're the scariest team going forward.
What's theirs in the AFC for certain?
Correct.
What's their ceiling? What's the Chargers' ceiling? Could they make a run to championship weekend?
I think so.
round.
Divisional round and a minimum.
I think they can go
minimum.
past that.
No, because this is my thought. Okay, we get to see them play the Chiefs, right? We're gonna get that, and I'm so happy today because of that. And we get to see them play Baltimore next week. So in the next 3 weeks, we get to see them play Baltimore and Kansas City. Because I'm gonna be real with you, I don't.
Are
think
they at Baltimore?
They're at home against Baltimore.
Oh,
And they go to Arrowhead. And then we also get to see them play Denver again. So I think we'll know.
they already beat Denver once.
They already beat Denver once. I think we'll know, but I want to see them even if they give Baltimore a really good game, which I think they do, the Har Bowl.
The what?
The Har Bowl.
Har Bowl on Thanksgiving.
Monday night on November 25th.
Oh, it's Monday Night
Monday
Football.
Night
My
Football.
fault. My fault.
The Har Bowl, I think that will tell us what we need to know about them. I think that I'm going to say right now, I think they could beat Houston.
So that's the thing. In order to beat Houston, they have to get to the 5. Of course, you never know. Like, they could pull off the division, but they're not going to. They're not going to do that. They might not even be better than Denver. But
outside of because we have to call both.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, dude.
yeah, I'd take the Chargers over.
They've
Denver
already
too.
beat them once.
I'd take the Chargers over Denver,
Yeah.
but still, I like Denver a lot. That doesn't mean I'd.
I actually like the Chargers over Kansas City right now.
Yeah,
way
right
they're
now,
playing.
right now, certainly.
The way they're playing right now,
Right now, certainly.
because of the way they're playing.
Let's make this easy. Teams in the AFC I like more than the Chargers right now: Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Baltimore.
Not even Baltimore.
No.
If we're talking
I
about
can
right
say
now,
Baltimore.
today, Buffalo, Pittsburgh.
Listen, it depends on which Lamar Jackson shows up.
Yeah.
That's what depends there. As
Yep.
far as I think Pittsburgh's the real thing. I think people better wake up real quick here.
And I'll be honest, I don't think was anybody expecting them to be that good out of the rip.
Pittsburgh?
No.
Oh, the Chargers?
Chargers?
No, I mean, that's
Is
a whole.
anybody expecting Denver or the Chargers to be as good
No.
as they are?
The
No.
Denver one makes a little bit more sense.
Not really.
Yeah. The Chargers, it was supposed to be a full rebuild. It was supposed to be
Look
aired
what-
all the way down.
Wait a minute, dude. That's what Denver did. The quarterback that was there last year that won 7 in a row for him was sent back.
Yeah, but I'm not nearly as high on Denver as I am on the Chargers.
I'll say this much. I think from a personnel, like an inherited personnel perspective, I would give the edge to the Chargers because of Justin Herbert, who is playing.
absolutely.
Justin Herbert's the only quarterback that's in Goff's conversation right now, in my opinion, is Justin Herbert. Well, Josh Allen. Josh Allen's in the conversation as well. But
I think
like,
Jackson, too. Jackson deserves to be in that conversation.
not at this very moment, but yeah, he's having Lamar Jackson's having an MVP season for sure.
He is.
Oh, let's talk about him. Oh, sorry.
No. Just with the Chargers, real quick. The Chargers traded Mike Williams. They traded Keenan Allen. They brought in a bunch of spare parts, right? Like they traded their 2 top receivers. They brought in a bunch of spare parts, and Justin Herbert's looked the best he's looked in his career. The defense.
You know why? They're not making him make all the plays.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That helps him right there.
That's what I was going to say. Is it's coaching, and I hate that I'm gonna get dumped on by you guys for the Harbaugh cliches, but it's coaching. Like this is the stupid shit he does in the locker room. The who's got it better than us for he's a jolly good fellow. Like Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa were there last year, not caring at all, right? And this is the rah-rah that Harbaugh does. He gets you to buy in. He gets people to buy in and want to be there and want to play football. And he weeds out.
Pete Carroll used to do that too.
Pete Carroll did that too. Pete Carroll was excellent at that.
He
And
would get guys to buy into him and then turn around and take a big old steamy dump on top of them.
And
that's what he used to do.
The guys that you want to be there, the guys that want to be there, they end up playing really well for you because they don't want to give up. You could just tell by looking at them that everyone's bought in. Yeah, that second half wasn't great yesterday. No. Wasn't great at all. But everyone is clearly bought in, and it's coaching. And yeah, like I can see a scenario.
They're doing it the right way.
They're doing
running
the
the
right way.
football and playing defense.
And
that's going to win you a lot.
And when they do need their quarterback to make throws and make big time throws and make a play, he's making them. He's making them with his legs. He's making them with his arm.
I want to jump to TikTok real quick. Do you see the Broncos going to the Super Bowl within Bo Nix's contract?
Within what? His rookie contract?
Yeah.
I think they got a really good shot to do it, to be honest with you.
I don't know if
I think they're a few pieces away.
They need they need help.
Yeah, they need a real wide receiver.
Oh man, how good would
opposite
Travis
Courtland
Hunter look
Sutton.
there?
Huh?
Or the guy from Arizona, like they can. I think what they need is solvable. Maybe you throw in an offensive line, Ashton Genty, another place he'd look good. A running back, an offensive lineman, one legit pass catcher to go with all these other guys who've played really well. I love
Bo dude?
Nix.
I think he's impressed me more than anybody this year.
Let's talk about it.
He has.
As far as rookie quarterbacks go, I think so.
Absolutely. I think he's the most impressive right now.
I want to hit a couple more on TikTok. Projection for Nico Collins tonight. I think Nico Collins will give you a 20 points solid tonight. I do. I'm looking at an injury report. CeeDee Lamb's very questionable still. Jordan Lewis is
They
out.
said he's playing.
Zach Martin is questionable. Deron Bland out. I don't see any reason why he shouldn't give you a 20 tonight. Steelers are the best team in the AFC right now from Snyder.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it because that's the game we're going to cover next. Cowboys go to the playoffs. We just need to win out. No, you're not.
No.
Godspeed.
Hey, you might as well dig the hole and pull the dirt in around yourself. That's where the Cowboys are at.
Ryan in the chat. Are the Steelers beating the Chiefs on Christmas?
Yes.
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 Book it. Steelers are the best team in the AFC right now. It's hard to argue that today.
Yes.
Very hard to argue.
Yes.
Buffalo's
I think
the
so.
argument, but
Buffalo's second, but it's second. Like there's a line.
Taylor in the chat says Pat McAfee grew a white beard.
Yeah, can confirm.
Can confirm. He's here with us today. Predict tonight's score. We'll get to that before we end today's show. We'll talk about the Monday night game. Let's go Lions. Absolutely, let's go Lions.
We'll talk Lions towards the end of the show, so stick around.
Here's a prop bet from Ace. Cooper Rush under 177.5 passing yards.
Yeah.
I would leave that one up to CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb sounds
Here's
like
the
he's
problem
playing.
with that. People are going to bite it on that, and CeeDee Lamb will get that by himself.
He could. He's gonna play too, but CeeDee Lamb he's gonna draw Derek Stingley. That's the problem.
Okay.
I think I would take the under on that.
Yeah, I'd take the under. I'd take the under.
All right, let's talk. A lot of talk in the chat about this. Steelers and the Ravens yesterday for the top spot in the AFC North. Pittsburgh comes out on top 18-16 in a nice old school defensive battle. Pittsburgh wins this game without scoring a touchdown. Needless to say, Chris Boswell is Pittsburgh's favorite human right now.
That kind of shit will fix itself.
Does this give you confidence in Pittsburgh winning this division yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Winning the division for certain.
It's their division to lose.
It's their division to lose.
They're 2 games, a game and a half.
The question is, can they pull the AFC off? That's the question.
Oh. Do we want to just real quick go through Pittsburgh going forward?
Yeah, go ahead. Quick.
At Cleveland. At Cincy.
Should be a win.
At home against Cleveland.
Should be a win.
At Philly.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
At Baltimore.
Gets tricky there.
At home against Kansas City on Christmas Day.
Great game. Love that it's in Pittsburgh, by the way.
At home against Cincinnati.
Yeah,
Well, I like the schedule going forward. You're going to see a lot of meaningful games.
You're
not going to see guys sitting because I think they're going to need to do all of that just to make it in and get a bye.
If you want to control the AFC, no one's sitting until week 18.
No, everybody needs to remember that even though Kansas City lost yesterday, it's their first loss.
Oh, whatever, dude. Whatever. It's the first time they played anybody halfway decent.
Whatever, dude. They're still 9-1, dude.
It doesn't matter.
They're 9-1.
Blind squirrel and nuts.
9-1. What is
Pat
Buffalo?
Mahomes is a
What is
mouthful of
Buffalo?
nuts.
Well, let's listen.
What's Buffalo? 8-2.
We're going to circle back to that in a second.
Getting there. We got to give this game its due diligence.
Are the Ravens out of the division race?
No,
You just said yes.
they're not out of it.
You
They're
said
not
it's
out of the
Pittsburgh's
division
to
race.
lose.
I don't think they're out of it yet.
Let's-
Dude. They still have to play each other.
Let's do this right now. Who wins that division? Who do you think today,
I
November
think
18th?
Pittsburgh's going to win it.
Who do you think wins
I
the
think it's
division?
Baltimore.
I think Pittsburgh wins the division.
This is the only reason I'm going to say why is because that was Pittsburgh's first divisional game.
Correct.
Okay. And they got to play Kansas City and they got to play Philadelphia.
Okay.
They do not have one gimme game left on the schedule.
Yeah.
Chargers, we really liked them. Baltimore gets to play them next week. I think that's going to be a good game, but I think Baltimore is the edge. Baltimore plays Philadelphia as well. Then they play the Giants, Pittsburgh, Houston, and Cleveland. Coming out of the bye, they still have their bye in front of them. They get to play the Giants. I think they could beat up on Houston right now. I think they'll beat Cleveland because Cleveland got the first one. That's going to be one that comes down to January 5th, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that Baltimore will edge them out by one game. I know Pittsburgh's looks really good, and I know they're really hot right now, but they have to go through a gauntlet to finish out the year. Do you think the Steelers are Super Bowl caliber?
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
100%. Elite defense, run the ball, good quarterback play, pass catchers are playing well. Yes, 100%. 100%.
I don't know. That's just really, really hard. I don't know if I'm ready to say that yet, and I don't know why. Why am I not there? What do you think? If you're
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
Is there a team in the AFC you are there for that they could win the Super Bowl? Is there any AFC team that's blown you away? Bills, Texans, Chiefs, who else? Who am I missing? The Ravens, the Steelers. Do any one of those teams scream to you that they can beat the Lions or the Eagles or even the Packers? Do any one of those teams have that? They're all missing something.
No.
Yeah.
They're all missing something.
Okay,
Every one of those teams is missing something.
This is what we still have. We're missing something here. They did this without scoring a touchdown. They beat Baltimore without scoring a touchdown. That doesn't give me a whole shitload of confidence going forward.
Against a bad Ravens defense, too.
Yes, correct. Against a Ravens defense, it's not the Ravens defense. I don't know. That's why. Honest to God, I would say the only team that scares me, and luckily we get to see it, is Buffalo right now. Buffalo looked really good.
You mean scares me from a Lions fan perspective?
From
Kansas
a
City's
ability
not
to
out
win
of
the
this.
Super Bowl. Yes,
Listen.
They're
I
not
think,
out of it, dude.
Why do you keep going back? Can we wait till we get to Kansas City?
They're not out of
I
it.
think.
Okay, so you think Kansas City beats the Steelers?
Listen,
Possible.
Pittsburgh's scary.
Anything is possible.
Pittsburgh
you
is
think they
scary.
beat them?
Kansas City on paper when they get the guys back, they could be scary. But they're all like, this is the conversation. Let's finish. I lined up the AFC slate to talk about them a certain way. So once we get through them, let's do it. Let's go and evaluate that top tier.
All right, let's talk about this dumpster fire. The Saints went up to Cleveland and played the Browns. Saints come out on top 35-14. 30-30, baby. 30-30. Dorian Thompson-Robinson got in for a pass. It was a big moment. Do you think that, the Saints are down Olave, they're down Rashid Shaheed. Can Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Taysom Hill actually make this team
Serviceable.
serviceable, semi-relevant? Like, they're 4-7, and this division right now is
Listen, if Atlanta
ugly.
keeps dumping fucking games, yeah. You know?
I know. Fantasy perspective going forward, do you think Taysom Hill can keep this shit going?
Yeah.
You think Valdez Scantling can keep this going?
Yeah.
Yeah, if Valdez Scantling is going to continue to be
The Rashid Shaheed. Bless you.
the only passing option, then yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him, by the way.
Just absolutely on a tear.
How hot is Kevin Stefanski's seat? Let's just quick just to say we talked about the Browns.
He's got to go. I think it's piping hot. Piping hot.
They should have beat the Saints team.
Yeah. And they looked bad.
Giving up 35 points to the Saints team is a we're not prepared type of performance.
I agree.
So it reflects on the head coach, and I feel for him.
I'm shocked there weren't coaches fired today. I'm fucking shocked.
Honestly,
Yeah.
And by coaches, do you mean Doug Peterson?
Yes. I mean, a bunch of them, even him.
Stefanski?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll get the season, and they'll.
How do you lose a game like that? 30-30 was hot.
He was.
30-30 threw for almost 400 yards.
Yeah.
Uh,
How do you throw for 400 yards and fucking get blown out?
I don't even think he had a pick, if I remember correctly.
No.
too. Yeah,
I don't think he did.
no, he didn't.
it's tough.
Real quick, whose ass is the hottest today?
Whose ass is the hottest?
Whose ass is the hottest?
Doug Peterson.
You want to know what's funny? I don't think it's Doug Peterson.
Mike McCarthy.
Nope.
Mm.
Mike McCarthy's coming off the bye. His
Is it Eberflus?
It is Eberflus. I think Eberflus's ass is piping hot.
Listen to me.
Next
they,
show,
They lost a very tight game, dude.
We'll get there.
Next
I
show,
just want to talk about ass.
I want to do a whole assessment of the ass coaches, because that's an hour episode right there.
There's some hot asses. Eberflus's ass has got to be hot. Antonio Pierce's ass has to be on fire. Stefanski, and then obviously Doug Peterson. But you're right. We'll save that for a different time. All right, let's do it. The Bills hosted the Chiefs. Buffalo comes out on top in this one, 30-21 to move to 9-2. Kansas City falls to 9-1. Josh Allen put this game on his back. Truly. He did. He ran it. He ran in that right there at the end of the game to seal the deal. And honestly, I thought he had an absolutely great performance yesterday. Good performance. Did exactly what he needed to do to win. Ran when he needed to. Was able to make the throws.
He's starting to understand it now.
Yeah. He's got to put this team on his back for them to be as good as they are.
That firefight bullshit with him trying to throw passes downfield, that's not his game.
You know who he reminds me a lot of right now? Josh Allen? You know what I'm going to say. Jared Goff. He's not forcing throws. He's going through his progressions. He's letting his playmakers get open. When he needs to make a play with his legs, like on the touchdown run, he's making the play with his legs. Does that mean I think the Chiefs are world beaters? No. Or excuse me, the Bills? No. But yeah, I think they're nice number 2 to the Steelers. And that's what they need out of Josh Allen. They needed yesterday. Like, you need to do just enough to win and let your playmakers make the plays.
So for every single last human being who is sitting on TikTok telling me how much of a nut job I was.
Can I do this?
Please.
Can I do this?
At it.
Did you see I replied to a lot of them last night by any chance?
I did not.
Yeah, I replied to about 15 Chiefs fans on TikTok. Look, really briefly, Chiefs fans, I'll keep this quick. No one said your team is bad. You're not living rent-free in anyone's head.
Oh, no, I think their team's bad.
We'll get to your thoughts.
Okay.
But if you're looking at your team and saying, we're 9-0 in the NFL, we got nothing to worry about, I give you last year's Philadelphia Eagles that started 10-1 and had a lot to worry about. Okay? I give you the Patriots that went 19-0 and couldn't win in the Super Bowl and had a little bit to worry about. There are endless examples of teams that are undefeated until the middle of the year. I think it was the Cardinals a couple years ago, ran through Thanksgiving with 10 wins. This happens more often than you think. If you can't look at your team and see that there's a problem, that they're going into the 4 minutes left in Buffalo, and Patrick Mahomes has only managed 14 points. Of course, they ended up with 21. Yay, congrats. If you can't see that, and I get it, you're a little banged up. You're missing Rashee Rice, who should have been suspended, and you're missing Pacheco, who's very good. I mean, do you want Pacheco to be the definition of your team, or do you want him to be the best player in the league, Patrick Mahomes, and the best tight end of all time, Travis Kelce? It's not there right now.
I don't think he's the best of all time.
It's fine. You're entitled to that. I do.
How about he's the best receiving tight end?
Okay, fair, cool.
Gronk's
Fine.
He's not.
That's not the point.
Gronk was better than Travis.
The
No,
point
absolutely.
is, the point is,
I give you another guy too. Gonzalez was better than him.
I'm taking Travis Kelce over both.
I'll
of them.
take Gonzalez over.
The point is, if you can't look at your
block.
team right now and think that something is wrong and that there's something that needs to be fixed, you're delusional. You can't just sit and say, "Oh, we're gonna coast" and all that. The teams that you coasted for and rope-a-doped for last year, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, as proved yesterday, they're all better. They all got better from last year. You did not. Just because you have DeAndre Hopkins and Josh Uche doesn't make you better. So if you to the people on TikTok, the 50 comments from Chiefs fans that attacked us, okay, if you think that you are that much better and that you're fine, you have a lot to worry about. Does that mean that the road to the AFC doesn't go through Kansas City? Of course not. Yes. It could easily go through Kansas City still. They could still finish and win the Super Bowl. But if you can't look at your team critically right now and think that there's something going on and that there's something off and that there's something missing, you are delusional. You are delusional. Let's talk in a couple weeks.
This Chiefs team, in my opinion, is the worst iteration of the Chiefs teams that we have seen. They beat Baltimore by a touchdown in week 1. They beat Cincinnati, which is no longer a quality win, by a point in week 2. And
they were a toe away to losing to Baltimore.
They were yes. And then they managed to beat Atlanta, who just got absolutely pulverized by Denver by 5. And they beat the Chargers while Justin Herbert was still hobbled by a touchdown. And they beat the Saints.
Yeah, Justin Herbert got knocked out of that game, and they won. They barely won. He got knocked out of that game in the first half.
They won at San Francisco, which at this point...
That's a good win. No, that's a good win. That's a good win. I'm going to give it to him.
Okay.
It was in San Francisco.
Then they beat the Raiders during the full-on 5-alarm Devontae Adams is sitting out and the world is burning by a touchdown, and they beat Tampa Bay, who didn't have anybody left alive, by a touchdown, and they beat Denver by 2 last week, which looks like
on a broken play. Congrats.
by 2. That's semi-quality win.
On a Leo Chanel blocked field goal.
Yeah, on a blocked field goal. And then they lost to Buffalo. So, yes, if you want to celebrate and you want to ring the horn and swing the rag about being 9-1, that is fine, because your next 2 games are Carolina and the Raiders, which you should win. But the Black Friday game against the Raiders, trap game. And then you play the Chargers, who right now I think are miles better than the Chiefs. And then you go to Cleveland, which you should win. The biggest benefit that the Chiefs have going for them right now is the schedule going forward. Because the only 2 games they should lose are the last 2, which they may have the AFC wrapped by then, but it's at Pittsburgh and at Denver. That's your benefit. Pittsburgh has to play the next 7 games, which are either in division or against Philadelphia and you.
And they can lose 2 before that even, too.
I mean, I'm sorry. It's not there, dude. Mahomes is playing his worst football of his career. You have to be able to see it. He's playing his worst football of his career. I'm sorry. The defense, which has been the high point so far this year, to me yesterday was not all that appealing. Yeah, Pacheco coming back is going to be a nice changeup. Kelsey was completely ineffective yesterday. I'm sorry. It's not there. It's not there. This Kansas City team is a first-round playoff exit, because when somebody brings it to them and comes full steam ahead, and one guy on that team wants to put the team on his back, they're going to lose.
They didn't even get punched in the mouth yesterday.
No.
They didn't get the Bills' best performance yesterday.
Absolutely not. They did not. James Cook was completely ineffective. Completely ineffective. It's not, I'm sorry, but for me personally, this Chiefs team is not at a championship caliber level. 9-1, 9-2.
Can I ask you a question?
Whatever.
Can I ask you a question before he asks it? Do you think they can be? Do you think they can get back? I do. I think that all of the makings are there. I just think right now, if this is the team you're fielding and playing, that's not the case. Do you think the Chiefs can return to a championship level?
I don't. Not this year.
Listen, they have all the experience over.
I don't care.
Guys.
The air's not in it. You're the first person to talk about what a team looks like, right? You're always the first one to go to the coach has lost his locker room. And I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying that, because these guys would run through the fires of hell for Andy Reid. But the air is not in this team. It does not feel the way that it does, right? The old Chiefs teams, when they got a chance to play Carolina or the Raiders, they did what the Lions did to Jacksonville yesterday.
They played more games than any other team in the last 2 years, so that's kind of why they're in the position they're in right now.
What?
You think it's just lag from
get
winning
out of
too
here,
many
dude.
games?
Come on. It's lag from playing too many games.
I saw a theory that the Jets are going to go really hard after Matt Nagy, and that's why there's a lack of creativity in the play calling, even though I think Andy Reid calls the plays, if I remember correctly, but Nagy's the one that's overseeing the offense, and that there's a lack of focus from Nagy because he's looking for his next job, and that they miss Bieniemy, which I totally believe.
They miss Bieniemy.
I totally believe that.
Yeah, but this is the thing. All they do on TV is sit there and cream over how incredible the Chiefs coaching staff is and how Spagnuolo's this gene. I'm sorry, I am not seeing it. You're not putting anybody away. You're not. You're relying on the referees to win you the game against Cincinnati, a blocked field goal to win you the game. That's fine once or twice a year, right? Because the Chiefs are going to get those wins. The Chiefs always get those wins. Most good teams do. You get a win that you shouldn't get on a dumb play. You get one win you shouldn't get because of the refs. But you can go up and down. Up and down. It's not there. It is not there. And I will die on this hill. I will die on the hill that this Chiefs team is a first-round playoff exit. Because you tell me right now, if they have to play the Chargers in week 1 of the playoffs, because I don't think they're winning the AFC, if they have to play the Chargers in week 1 of the playoffs, Harbaugh's not going to have that team ready to go out there and pop Kansas City after having played them 3 times already this year. He will. He will. You tell me that Pittsburgh or Baltimore are not coming out and wiping the floor with them in a playoff situation. They will. They will. There's my 2 cents on them.
It's like you're dying on the hill.
I'm going to die on that hill. Do you guys, right now, I know you guys already said it, but you think the Steelers are the favorite to win the AFC? Right now, I still think the Bills are. Just because I don't have the same confidence that you guys do in
No, I think Buffalo's in it. I like Pittsburgh a little better than that.
Are they your favorite to win the AFC?
No.
Okay. I think right now Buffalo is my favorite to win the AFC, strictly for the fact that Pittsburgh is so good defensively.
I've seen Sean McDermott do this before, and then when it comes down to playoff time, they kind of.
Yeah, but you want to know what the difference is this year? This is, and I'm talking about feeling, but everybody thought Buffalo was going to come in third place in this division.
Yeah, this was supposed to be a rebuilding year for them.
This was supposed to be their dumpster year.
And they could win the AFC.
So maybe Josh, maybe they don't have that same, maybe the mindset has changed. And in my opinion, it does, because like you said, Josh Allen's not making dumb mistakes. He's playing clean football. Like, I really think that Buffalo is playing the cleanest football they've played. They're my favorite to win the AFC because I am not 100% bought in on Pittsburgh's offense. And I'll tell you this, realistically, Pittsburgh has more offensive talent at every position besides quarterback than Buffalo. And I'm still not sold 100% on Pittsburgh's offense. So for that reason, I still think Buffalo is my favorite out of the AFC. But I understand you guys with Pittsburgh. I do.
Real quick, let me clean some stuff up on TikTok because I don't want to lose all
Let's
these
do
people. Danny, yes, shout out to you and Brendan, of course. Chiefs fans are salty, and we're going to have you guys post a video, and we're going to induce some more saltiness. They were replying to me last night. What do the Chiefs, this is from Tony, what do the Chiefs do at a high level? What are they discernibly better at than anyone right now? Nothing. I think their defense is good, not great. Their linebackers play at a high level. That's the only thing I can think of. Even Chris Jones is off right now. Even he's not a game wrecker at the moment. Go Pack Go and let's go Texans from Crazy Carlos. You sure are crazy, Carlos. Did you forget the Chiefs are in the? Did you forget who the Chiefs are in the playoffs? Yeah, Marcel. Good point. That's like the same thing as saying the Bengals start slow every year and then turn it on. You can't just keep repeating a narrative every year. Every team that the Chiefs played in the playoffs last year is better this year. The Chiefs are a different team in the playoffs. Bills are overrated. They beat one team over 500 and got mopped up by the Ravens. They might be overrated, but they're easily one of the top 2 best teams in their conference right now. What's up, y'all? Would you trade CeeDee Lamb for AJ straight up in PPR? Yeah, I would. CeeDee Lamb for AJ Brown?
Yes, I would.
Uncle Sam agrees. Justin Herbert or Jayden Daniels next week for Ole. Herbert, I believe, plays the Ravens on Monday night, like you guys said, and then Jayden Daniels plays the Cowboys at home.
Oh,
Jayden
Daniels at home.
Jayden Daniels at home.
Cowboys.
Yeah. Sorry, that's it. We're cleaned up.
Oh, no, that's all good. For whoever said the thing about the Chiefs, who the Chiefs are in the playoffs, if I remember correctly, last year they beat Buffalo by a field goal late. Then they played the Dolphins in the Frost game, right? And then they absolutely shit-pumped Baltimore when Lamar Jackson forgot how to play football.
At Baltimore.
At Baltimore. And Lamar Jackson,
And
it
they
was
beat
Lamar
the
Jackson's
Bills-
worst
they beat
game
the
of his
Bills
career.
in Buffalo.
Yes, they did.
And one last quick shout out to Jello in the chat.
Shout out, Joe.
What up, Jello? Send this to your friends over in go over at Stevens. Does he go to Stevens? You go to Mike, go to Utica for it. Send it to your friends.
I'm so sick of them. I am so sick of them. That was so good yesterday.
Yeah, felt good.
Well, looks like you're going to continue to be sick of them.
Josh Allen had America on his back on that.
Yes, he
like
did.
like that was like he had the wind at his back on that touchdown run.
Yep. Moving on. The Broncos played the Atlanta Falcons yesterday. Broncos absolutely shit pump them 38-6. Do you think Bo Nix right now has what it takes to win Rookie of the Year over said Jayden Daniels?
Can we do it on 3? 1,
Yep.
2, 3. Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Bo Nix, the string of performances that he's putting together right now.
Got his first 300-yard performance yesterday, and he looked pretty damn good doing it.
Yeah.
I give him a lot of credit.
Shout out to Sean Payton.
And this was a guy that I wasn't very high on. I don't think you were all that.
No, he
Listen,
had
I-
Bo Nix number 2 to
been
Michael
telling-
Penix. He had Penix, then
Holy
Nix, 1
shit,
and 2.
Wait a second.
Michael Penix got in.
played in this game.
Michael
I know.
Penix got in.
Oh my God, 2 for 4 for 24 yards, and still had a better QBR than Kirk Cousins. Wow, good for him. No, that was a beautiful performance out of Bo Nix yesterday.
They're balling. Denver's balling.
Denver is ball,
Yeah.
and they're doing it ragtag. I mean, Cortland Sutton,
Man,
whoever
I'll
Devon
tell you
Bailey
what,
is.
dude, they're running the football consistently, and they're playing really good defense.
And that trio, the Williams, McLaughlin, Estime trio, it's cute.
It works.
It works.
It works.
For me personally, and again, you have to give the Broncos their props in this, right? They looked really good.
Hey, he's looking more poised every week I watch him. He looks more poised than the week prior. He's improved from week after week. He's improving. And now you're starting to see the benefits of that because he's really putting the ball downfield. And I'll say this, he's putting it down the field accurately. And I've been really impressed with him.
Atlanta is dog shit.
They might be.
They are dog shit.
They might be. Something's off
They're
right now.
dog shit. And the question that I'm going to pose to you
I'm going
guys-
to tell you right now, I think it's the defense. Their defense, they can't get it to the quarterback. They can't get no pressure. They can't do anything, dude.
Kirk Cousins don't look good.
No, but that defense doesn't look good. They've invested a lot of money into that defensive side of the ball this year.
I want to do this because I am changing my tune, and I will die on this hill as well. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to come back and win this division.
They're going to have a good shot.
They get Mike Evans back out of the bye next week. They go to the Giants and Tommy DeVito. Then they go to Carolina. Then they play the Raiders at home. They play the Chargers in LA. I'll give it, that's a really tough game. Then they go to Dallas, play Carolina again, and play New Orleans. And win that division. And win that division with Mike Evans back, ready to party. I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm there.
they're going to have a good shot at it. That division's going to come down to the wire.
That-
Nobody can write off Derek Carr and Valdez Scantling at this
But you want to know what's messed up?
Sorry?
They're in it.
They're still in it.
They are in it.
Yeah.
If Atlanta collapses, and I'm not saying that I think Atlanta's going to collapse, but when you look at Tampa's schedule, Atlanta going forward has to play the Chargers, Minnesota, the Raiders, the Giants, Washington, and
Right.
Carolina. So
Right.
you have 2 games in there for Atlanta that are going to be really, really tough on top of the Chargers.
Right.
So they got to get their act together. That's all it is. And I've seen Kirk Cousins' teams go on lulls and then come back. I wholeheartedly trust Kirk Cousins to get this back on track. I think it's a play calling issue. Zach Robinson, who is a really heralded name because he's in the Sean McVay tree. I don't think they've been great. And Uncle Sam's right. They sank a lot of resources into their defense, and it's not.
They're not producing.
Shout out to Suey.
Where's Suey? Hey, Suey. How's it hanging?
Yeah, where is Suey?
Dog
He's in TikTok. I'm sorry. I think Atlanta were the big losers of the week.
They could be.
I think they were. Moving on. The Dolphins played the Raiders. The Dolphins win this game, 34-19. The question posing, 4-6. We're talking about a couple 4-6 teams here. Does Miami have a shot?
No.
Do they have a shot? Yes. Are they going to get in? No, they're not.
Miami has a better chance than Cincinnati.
Based on schedule, maybe.
Miami has a better chance, and they have 1 less loss.
Based on schedule, maybe. But
Does Miami have a better chance than Indianapolis today? Half a game. They're a half a game back from Indy.
yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. I want to make another bold statement. Miami might be that third team.
Can I tell you the problem?
What was that?
Did you?
Denver.
Yeah, you're naming the wrong teams. That's the problem. It's not the Bengals or the Colts. They have their competition right now is the Ravens, the Chargers, the Broncos.
Well, the Ravens, in my opinion, the Ravens are in.
That's what I'm saying. It's either that's a wild card berth though. Ravens or Steelers. One of them is a wild card berth. And then you have I don't think the Broncos or the Chargers are. I think they're both getting in. I think there's a very good chance that they both get in. And then from there, it's the Bengals, right? So much same. It's a numbers game. It's the same reason why Cincinnati's not going to get in. You cannot give up. History tells us that you cannot give up that much slack at the beginning of the year and get in. It's the same thing that happened to the Lions 2 years ago. You can't go 1-6 and then hope you get in down the road. It almost never happens.
They're a game and a half behind Denver, Miami. Yeah, you might be right.
It's tough. There's no margin for error. They have to go on a massive ripper.
And they have some tough games. Green Bay,
Yep.
Houston. Okay, never mind. I retract my
It's
former
tough.
statement.
Can they? Yes. Will they? No.
No. Okay. Do you think the Raiders end up with the first pick?
Possible.
Run it right now. Call out the first 10 teams. Let's do this.
Okay. Right now on Tankathon. Let's see. I believe Jacksonville still has the first pick.
How do they always get the first pick?
They're 2 and 9. Jacksonville, Tennessee, Cleveland, Vegas. Realistically, right now, yeah, I think they might.
Jacksonville should get it and trade it, right? Because I don't know what they need. Offensive linemen. I don't know what they need. Travis Hunter would look very good there.
Yes.
Travis Hunter would look very. I could think of 28 teams where Travis Hunter would look really good on. Anyways, go ahead. Who was after Jacksonville?
Tennessee. Who might be that bad?
Tennessee. Do they need a quarterback?
No,
I think Will Levis gets one more year.
I do too. You agree? Cleveland.
Need a quarterback.
But okay, because I was talking about this today actually in a conversation. I don't think they can.
Take a quarterback?
I don't think they can. Because the big glaring question still is, what do you do with Deshaun Watson? What do you do? You're going to cut him and take the $80 million cap hit next year?
You might have to.
And you're going to bring in a rookie quarterback into that situation?
You have to.
You may draft the rookie quarterback as insurance.
But this is the other thing now, because this was the second thought I had about this.
Hold on. You got 30-30 there, dude. You draft best player available. You send Watson packing. Fuck him. Send him packing.
Yes, but draft best player available is who? You're going to bring Travis Hunter into
Is it a
that
quarterback?
disaster?
Travis Hunter won't go there.
Travis
Hunter won't go there.
Either.
Caleb Williams is a prime example of why going forward, players are going to try and control where they go because his father tried to control where he ended up, and he ended up in a bad situation and it blew up. So Shador is going to be in the driver's seat. Travis Hunter, Deion's going to control where both of those players go. It doesn't matter if they're number one overall. He's gonna have a say in where his players end up based on how Caleb Williams was mishandled this year. That's my 2 cents, and it's not gonna be Cleveland. Neither of those guys are gonna end up in Cleveland.
It's not gonna be Cleveland. If I had to do a guess right now, I really think, in my heart of hearts, that Dallas is gonna continue to lose games, and they're gonna keep moving up and keep moving up and keep moving up. And Shador Sanders will either end up with the Raiders or the Cowboys. Mainly for what you said.
It's the Raiders. Shador Sanders is going to go to the Raiders.
Whichever one doesn't get Shador ends up with... I really think there's a strong possibility that somehow Dallas squeaks all the way up and could end up with him.
On Travis Hunter, I think there's a little because a team is going to determine where he plays. He's significantly better as a cornerback than he is a receiver. Okay, the money is better for a receiver. So if he can get receiver reps, that works out for him. So a team is going to have a little bit more say, and I think
the higher you go, the money is there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And he's going in the top 3, right?
Right. He's going to be a top 3 pick. He's going to make 20 fucking close to $30 million for the next 4 years.
I think it's less important where Travis Hunter goes than it is where Shador goes. I think it's a little bit less important.
I think Shador ends up in the Raiders.
If I'm the Raiders, I try and get both of them. Shador?
Yeah.
Maybe, but he's still really good, and
he's overrated.
He could be a good pro quarterback.
What? Why are you laughing?
Do you prefer having Shadur Sanders or Aiden O'Connell?
I just think I
Shadur
just think
Sanders.
he's overrated.
Aiden O'Connell. That you're dealing with Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. So no matter what,
I would rather have Michael Penix Jr.
whatever. That ship sailed. He's backing up Kirk Cousins, who sucks.
My mom wants to know which two teams will end up in the Super Bowl.
Ooh, you know what? Let's entertain this.
She's in the TikTok chat.
I think the Detroit Lions are going to be the NFC Super Bowl team. And right now, if I had to pick today, I think you're going to have a battle for Lake Erie.
Bills Lions.
Bills Lions.
That would be
Bills Lions. That would be bedlam.
insane.
That would be absolute bedlam.
Detroit and Kansas City.
And I'll be the third party. I think it's Lions versus whoever comes out, whoever the survivor of the NFC North is. I think it's a North off.
Lions,
Ravens or Steelers. One of those two teams is my guess.
Oh, that is a great
I
question.
said that at the beginning of the year, and I'll stick with it.
Well, I said Lions Dolphins, so I'm doing real good on that one right now.
We're not making very good time.
I
so
said Lions.
let's go
Moving on.
forward.
Here we go. This is a great one we can talk about. The Indianapolis Colts played what's left of the New York Jets. Colts win this game 28-27. How did we feel about Anthony Richardson yesterday?
Good.
Oh, that was another prop I called. Anthony Richardson anytime touchdown. I liked Anthony Richardson's performance yesterday too. Granted, I'm not taking all that much stock in it because the Jets are, in my opinion right now, the Jets are the most deflated team in the NFL. But he threw for almost 300
I don't
yards.
agree with that.
Threw for almost 300 yards, got a touchdown pass, got 2 touchdowns on the ground. I thought it was a pretty nice performance out of Anthony Richardson. That little time off, I think it did something for him.
We'll see.
You said that you don't believe the Jets are the most deflated team in the NFL right now.
No,
I would love to hear why.
just because I don't. I mean, they can throw garbage out there for 3 quarters and still be in a game in 1 quarter.
But they're not winning any of them.
They should have won that game yesterday. I mean, they
Got outplayed.
the first half they were awful again.
'Cause
If they could put together 2 strong quarters, they can win a ball game.
Here's the problem. One,
And Roger says he's coming back next year.
God, that's the worst.
I was just going to ask, as our resident jetologist,
That was the worst possible thing for them.
does he look checked out to you? Does Aaron Rodgers look checked out to you?
No,
He's done, dude.
no, I don't think he's done.
Why?
I can't explain what's going on there. I know the defense has gotten progressively worse week by week. That to me is more scary than the offense.
This Jets defense, which we thought was going to be a top 5 defense this year, has now become a bottom 5 defense.
Yeah,
That's number one.
that's
Number
the
two-
biggest concern, I think.
Number 2, they're like, the problem is it's you either get one or the other, right? You have 2 of the best receivers in football, and you either scheme Devontae Adams to have a good game or you scheme Garrett Wilson to have a good game. And you can't get either. You can't get a game where you get good performances out of both of them, or it's a Breece Hall game. It's bad.
That'd be a
Their
good spot for Bieniemy.
Yeah, their coaching staff sucks. Aaron Rodgers sucks, and each receiver picks and chooses when they're going to play a game, and their defense is bottom 5. God bless. Good thing Aaron Rodgers coming back next year because the Jets won't be a problem. Bruce, talk.
You have a rate my team.
Rate my team. Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, Cooper Kupp, Amon-Ra, George Kittle, Drake London, Pittsburgh defense, and Brendan Aubrey.
Yeah, geez, how many?
Brother,
How
you
many?
have a Pro Bowl team.
How many teams are in your league? 4.
I mean, my God.
Your team is very good. Yes.
Yes, you have a A+, 10 out of 10 championship level team. Shout out to you.
Eric Larson's asking which free agents get moved and where. It's a little too early for me to
Yeah,
touch
we
that
can't
right
get
now.
there.
I'm still balls deep in the
Stick with us,
2024
Eric.
season. We'll get there though.
We will get there. Next up, the Seahawks played the 49ers in a
Divisional game.
Seahawks come out on top of this one 20-17. It looks like the Seahawks might not be dead yet. They might play their way back into this divisional race because that's the sandwich division at the moment.
Can you see it happening, Uncle Sam? Can you see the Seahawks playing their way back in?
Did you notice that San Francisco lost all their momentum as soon as Nick Bosa went out?
Huh?
Yeah,
They were done. They couldn't get a fucking decent pass rush.
No.
The defense looks horrible right now. They can't stop the run. They're just I don't think they're very good.
Is there a chance the Niners don't make the playoffs?
Yes, I believe that.
Well, right now they're in last place today. Granted, there's 3 teams at 5-5.
No, I listen. It's all teams with 500 records are fucking.
Not the Cardinals.
Not the
Cardinals are a game up.
But I will say this: the way I see them losing these games, and it's demoralizing. It really is. McCaffrey is not at all. He's about.
He looks
70%.
good, not great. He looks good, not great.
70%.
Agreed.
Okay, so if you had to pick today, who's winning this division?
I still think the Cardinals.
Cardinals. Going with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Easiest schedule, playing the best ball right now.
Yeah.
Defense is coming with
You gotta
own.
watch out for.
Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison.
I'm going to say San Francisco.
I think you still need to watch out for the Rams.
I'm going to say San Francisco.
Yeah, everybody needs to wake up.
I'm going to say San Francisco. Reason being is Frisco's one of those teams right now, and it's kind of Minnesota-esque. These games that they're losing.
They're pressing, dude, and them pressing, it just doesn't, it throws everything off.
You gotta think about it. The script wants the Lions to rematch San Francisco in the playoffs, so
like,
there's a good chance they're probably going to make it.
if we go, if
That's not happening this year.
right
I'm just
now,
saying.
Yeah.
right now the losses for Frisco are a lot like the wins for Kansas City.
Okay.
They lost to Seattle by a field goal. They lost to Arizona by a point. They lost to the Rams by a field goal. So
Those are 3 divisional teams.
Absolutely.
Got to beat these guys.
but what I'm saying is, if the next time they play
Right,
them,
the next 3 days
they go the other way.
If they can win the next 3 divisional games, they're in it.
Frisco's the most talented team in that division, and so when it's that close, I'm going to stick with them.
Well, I mean, you're saying the most talented team. Okay. I really don't agree with that.
They're not the most talented team.
I
in the
think
division.
receiver wise, the Rams are more talented than they are when they have their fucking whole clique together.
I'll
I
say
think
this
they're
much.
better.
I'll say this much. I love the Rams defense right now. I love the
Yeah.
youth. Of
Rams have the best
defense.
defense in that division.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Kyler Murray's fucking better quarterback than fucking
Brock Purdy.
yeah.
Right now,
I would
right
have
now,
to
I
say
agree with you. At
I
this
would have to
moment,
say
I
he's
agree with
playing at a higher level than the rest of the quarterbacks in that division,
you. Right now, I agree with
except for maybe Stafford.
you. Right now, I agree with you.
Yeah, because I don't think Geno Smith is. It was real cute, his little run into the end zone yesterday. He stole the fire from Josh Allen before Josh Allen, so I thought it was cute. They pulled out a big win, and I'm going to tell you what, San Francisco, I think their problems are real. Dude, it's fixable. Their offensive line is very inconsistent in the run game. That's somewhere where they've dominated the past 3 years.
Correct.
They are not doing that this year. Their fucking offensive line, their run blocking has been very, very fucking shaky.
Agreed.
And I think the same with their defensive line. They've always had the best defensive line in that division. I don't think they're the best anymore, to be honest with you. I don't. I think Seattle's defensive line is better than theirs.
Let's stay in that division. The Rams headed to Gillette Stadium to play the Patriots. Rams coming on top 28-22.
I will say this. I give the Patriots a lot of props, man. This is a team that their coach called them soft, and they were going to pack it in a couple of weeks ago. They've
turned
come back
something
with
on for 'em.
two very hard fought
Agreed.
performances in the last 2 weeks.
Agreed. There's a lot of criticism today of Gerard Mayo. He did not double team Puka and Cup at all.
How?
They were in single coverage the entire game.
Yeah. Okay.
Puka, 123 yards and a touchdown. Coop 106 and 2.
Okay. What would you say was their biggest issue
The Patriots.
yesterday? Yeah.
God bless.
The defense.
God
Bless you.
Their defense.
Their defense.
They were
Yeah.
worse.
They couldn't get any pressure on Stafford.
No.
They did get some, and when they did, they were getting burned.
Offensively, that was the nicest performance the Patriots have had all year.
I am a Drake May is awesome.
Drake May.
Drake May is awesome.
Right now, who do we like better today? Drake May or Caleb Williams?
Drake May, but
I agree.
apples and oranges. There's a chance Caleb Williams turns into what he was before, but Drake May looks He's more than a building block, Drake
Did you
May.
just say there's a chance for the Bears to do something?
No, I just think that Caleb Williams isn't. It's situational, and it's just not a good situation right now. And he did look better yesterday. We'll get to that later. But Drake May is right there. He's in the conversation with Daniels and Bo Nix, in my opinion. He's just on a way lesser team than Daniels and Bo Nix.
Agreed.
That's all it is.
Go ahead, Bruce.
With no pass catchers, by the way.
TikTok.
Hunter Henry? You kidding me, bro?
Do we think that Gerard Mayo's job is safe for next year?
Right now, yes. Can
Yeah.
see it not panning out.
I think he's good for next year. The Rams, second place at 5-5, a game behind Arizona. Going forward for them, because I gave the division to the 49ers, you guys gave it to Arizona, but you really can't forget about them. They play Philadelphia, New Orleans, Buffalo, Frisco, the Jets, Arizona, and Seattle. That's why I picked,
That's not an easy schedule.
that's the
going forward.
only reason I didn't pick them to do it. Because I think that they have to go through. They're going to go through a lot.
They got their guys back.
Yeah, but
They looked a lot better this week than they've looked all year.
Real quick on TikTok, trade Aaron Jones for James Conner. What do you guys think?
No,
I'm holding Aaron Jones.
no.
I think I'm holding Aaron Jones too, but I do like James Conner. My team, Burrow, wide receivers, Nico and Adams and Hopkins, running backs, Derrick Henry, Mixon, tight end McBride. I think you need some work on the bottom of your wide receivers, but
Yeah, I agree with that.
that's a good team. Maybe you could trade Mixon for someone. I don't know.
I would package Adams and Hopkins together
Mm-hmm.
and try and upgrade
Yeah.
one of those spots.
Or you don't want too many Texans either.
True.
But yeah, he's right. Try and upgrade, package some guys together and try and get something. Hi from Indianapolis from Swag Country Girl. What up?
Howdy.
The Lions are headed your way Sunday.
Howdy.
Be
Yes, they
ready.
are.
Kirby Joseph wants you to be ready. Do you guys agree that Casey is paying off the refs? No.
No.
No, they just suck.
No.
They're just
No,
not good.
I believe the whole league is paid off.
What do you guys think about the Vikings from Dalton? Dalton, we're going to talk NFC North. I promise very soon. We're trying to get there.
Yeah, give us 3 minutes.
We're working towards that. I have Houston money line to win a 6-leg parlay. Do I let it ride or take the cash out? You let that
it
ride.
ride.
You let that
We
ride.
do not promote gambling on this.
We do not promote gambling.
Thoughts on Jordan Love and my pack? You're asking the wrong people, but
Let's talk about him right now.
are we there?
We're there.
We are there. Okay.
Packers played the Bears yesterday. Packers come out on top 20-19. My God. What do we think of this? Takeaways, instant thoughts. Go.
Blocked field goal.
You could see the tweaks were very helpful for Caleb Williams. They let him make plays with his legs. He looked efficient. They had an identity offensively, which is we're going to try and run the ball effectively, and we're going to let our playmakers more Odunze. We're going to let them get open in space. And, yeah, that's how it should be. I think there's a long way to go. I wouldn't read too much into it. But if you're a Packers fan, question to you guys, if you were a Packers fan, do you feel good after that win yesterday, even though you beat the Bears for the 10th time since
Absolutely.
pandemic?
Absolutely, he felt good about it.
Why?
I mean, they pulled out one they should have lost. They should have lost that game yesterday. And I'm going to say this right now. I'm not trying to be a fucking hater on this kid, dude. I keep seeing Caleb Williams miss wide open receivers, and it's not good, dude. It's not good. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on with him, but yeah, that's. I mean, I guess when you're in doubt, run the football, dude. You ain't got much time to think.
70
back
yards
there,
rushing.
dude. I know that.
That's how
There's
it should
nothing
be.
wrong
But
with that.
I will
mean,
say
that
Chicago's
he's got a good skill set.
Chicago's offensive line is not good.
No, they're not.
They're
good.
not good.
They're not good. Now I'll tell you what. That Johnson kid, that Roshan Johnson, the running back for Chicago, he's no joke, dude. That kid
angry.
He runs tough.
He's angry.
I like him.
Yeah.
He's got really good size and he runs tough. I think it's a real nice complimentary with him and Swift there. I think that's a nice deal.
Are we still at the point on the Packers where they can keep up in this division?
No.
I don't.
I'm going to tell you something
No.
right now, and I know this is going to sound a little premature and a little early. I don't see them doing much. I really don't.
What are they missing?
Outside of Josh Jacobs, their receiving courts, one guy's hurt every fucking week. They're inconsistent. They can't all stay on the field together. I just think it's a damn clusterfuck.
What do you think they're missing?
I don't think Jordan Love's a good decision maker.
Never was.
And I don't think Jordan Love is I'm going right back to where I was at the beginning of the year. Jordan Love is not a $50 million quarterback. He's not I don't think he is the guy.
And I think the Packers defense was a little
It's suspect.
They're off.
I've been
They're off.
saying that.
I used to think they had a really good young defense.
They're suspect.
They looked like
dude.
shit last week.
They're not. I don't think the Packers are. The Packers are not even in the same conversation for me as Philadelphia and Detroit.
I really like Josh Jacobs. I really do. I don't think they use him enough. That's just my opinion. They get a little throw happy with Jordan Love, and
Yeah.
I think it's a big fucking mistake.
Can I
Hold on. I agree to an extent, but I also disagree. I think they need to be able to effectively throw the ball to win.
Correct.
And I don't think they're currently, for reasons you said, whether it's injured receivers or Jordan Love's decision making or inconsistency from Love. Yeah, of course I want them to run the ball. They beat the Titans with Malik Willis just running the ball.
Right.
You can't beat the Eagles and
No,
the
I
Lions.
agree with that. But what I'm trying to say is I think if they commit to the run a little more, it will open up that stuff downfield for them. This shit, he's forcing it. A lot of that shit isn't open downfield.
No, it's the same problems he had
Yep.
last year.
Yep.
He's not he forces throws. He's a more raw version of early Stafford. He forces throws and just goes through his he doesn't go through his progressions. When they call a guy's number, if they're calling Christian Watson's number, he's going to throw it into triple coverage at Christian Watson.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
he
is.
showed that yesterday.
Yeah.
Another thing that I would like to point out here.
Well, Caleb Williams is doing the same shit. I'm not going to let him off the hook either.
No.
He's doing the same fucking thing.
Fine. There's a difference
Yeah.
between the two
And
of them.
he's
though. Caleb
also a
Williams
rookie.
is the
I get
$50
it.
million quarterback.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet, buddy. Couple more years.
Can I be honest with you? I think that there's a chance that Chicago could really spoil the Packers season.
Week 18 at Lambeau.
Week 18
Smoking.
at Lambeau. I really do. Because I got news for you. It is not easy for the Packers going forward. And remember, this Packers team beat Jacksonville by a field goal. Lions just beat them by 6
That was
touchdowns.
with Trevor Lawrence.
There's
Trevor Lawrence,
certainly
Mac Jones. I don't give a shit.
with the Packers, there's certainly it's like the AFC's teams, like how they're all missing something.
There's
the
a whiff
Packers,
of
the Packers are
fraudulence.
certainly missing something. If I do know a Packers fan, he's not comfortable with the win yesterday. He still thinks they're the best team in the world, but he's not comfortable. My counter question, you guys, if you're a Bears fan, after everything that happened the week before, do you feel better about what you saw yesterday, even though you lost in heartbreaking fashion to your biggest rival?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I think
I agree with that.
Going forward, because they were really starting to hit a skid there, and if they're still skidding, I think if they won that game yesterday, would have helped them more than losing it.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
You know, so I mean, this loss here is pretty devastating for them. You got to see how they're going to come back next week.
Who?
Packer or
The Bears.
Bears are dead.
They're dead, but they could still. I thought that there were signs of life. Their defense is still good if they don't give up on their coach. Their defense is still very elite.
They've lost 4 straight. They played Minnesota, Detroit, San Francisco, Minnesota, Detroit.
They played. It doesn't matter.
Eberflus ain't making it out of Thanksgiving.
Trust me, I'm the biggest Lions suck me off there is. They play the Lions tough every time. Every time they've played the Lions, they play them tough.
They haven't played this Lions.
That's true. They haven't played the world-beating Lions.
they beat them last year.
They haven't played this Lions team. Next up, the Vikings played the Titans. Vikings come out on top 23-13. Are we kind of disappointed in the Vikings' performances against lower level competition? I'm going to say this.
No.
Oh, okay.
Why would you feel bad about it? They're still winning.
That's the same argument the Chiefs fans have when they're 9-0. The Vikings
I
thought they were
mean,
going to win the division a month
The
ago.
Vikings, you remember a couple of years back, man, they were the biggest fraudulent team there was.
They're still fraudulent.
Well, I mean, you can't really say that yet because there's too much time left.
I'll say this. It's a rebuilding year for them.
Yep.
And they've exceeded all expectations.
Yes.
And if they've regressed into the team after the team they had for the first month, if they've simply regressed into the team that's beating the teams that they're supposed to beat, they had enough leeway where that's fine, and this could very much get them into the playoffs.
Right.
But I think their ceiling has significantly dropped since the Lions game.
Dropped.
Significantly.
Dropped. Minnesota's up.
I actually thought they played pretty well yesterday.
make the wild
I
card
really
and get
did.
bounced in the first round. Detroit beat the same Titans team, 52-14.
Will Levis didn't play.
Talk about Will Levis and Trevor Lawrence like it's Joe. They're missing.
They didn't play. That's their starting
Sagittarius
quarterbacks. They didn't play.
Sagittarius K 92 is a Jags fan. Shout out to you. We're about to hit that game right now in 1 minute. We're a Lions podcast, so give us a few minutes to talk about the Lions, and then we'll touch on Doug Peterson. Just stick around. Stick around for a couple minutes, okay?
You think Will Levis is the starter there next year?
Yeah, I do.
He doesn't look
I
that
do.
bad.
I think they'll give him one more year. I think they'll give.
He reminds me of Bruce.
Okay. Whatever.
You look kind of like Will Levis.
All
And
right,
just
whatever.
absolutely.
Show everybody. Pull the hat off.
Whatever. Anyway,
He had the
really
same
not-
head.
He hasn't been playing that bad since he came back.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah, they're yeah.
Listen, they had the longest
Dude,
play
they've
from
won 2
scrimmage.
football games.
Listen to me. They had the longest play from scrimmage
Listen,
in the
he's
NFL.
come a long way from
Yes,
trying on the field. All right.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
They're a field goal away from owning the first pick. A field goal against the Patriots.
You talking about the Titans?
And realistically, they have to play Houston, Washington, Jacksonville twice, Cincinnati, the Colts, and Houston. And I don't think they're going to win. Maybe
Smells like trouble.
that smells like Travis Hunter. But he won't go there because they won't let him.
No, hold on. That's a scenario I could see Travis Hunter walking into.
Maybe.
I could see that happening.
Dancing down Broadway.
Dancing on Broadway.
Moving on. Our Detroit Lions throttled the Jaguars 52-6 at Ford Field. Zolo's got some things you'd like.
No. We're gonna skip
No?
5 things. If we keep talking about this 5 things with this Lions team, we're gonna skip it because if we keep doing that, like I'm running out of things to say about them. We're at the point where hook and ladders don't even mean like they don't phase us anymore. It's like, oh, that one almost worked. If J-Mo caught one more block, that's a touchdown.
So how do you feel about Zadarius Smith in his first game in the Honolulu Blue?
I went back and watched some clips of him today, and there's ways that they utilize him, which I really like. When they were putting him on the inside, he seemed to be really effective, and they were running stunts, and he was getting ample pressures. Of course, he ended up with the sack eventually. For one game, yeah, I certainly liked what I saw, and that was the bit. I don't know, were you there for opening the intros yesterday? Were you in your seat?
Yeah.
That was the loudest the building was when he came out of the tunnel. He smashed together 2 bottles and chugged them. The crowd went crazy after seeing him in the Sheed jersey.
I don't know. It was pretty loud when Kirby came out. And it's always pretty loud when Kirby comes out.
Not louder than Zadarius Smith yesterday. Brian Branch had a louder thing than Kirby Joseph, in my opinion. But,
Well, that's
yeah.
because-
Kirby Joseph is the better player.
Than Brian Branch?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I do.
I think they're 1A and
Oh, I do.
1B. What'd you think of Zadarius Smith yesterday?
Joseph is a true free safety.
Mm-hmm.
He's a true free safety.
Branch is a nickel playing
Just
safety.
let him fucking just move. He's a ball hawk.
I know, but Branch is just an absolute game wrecker. That's my
you
thing.
know what? I like the way he plays. He reminds me of a lot of other safeties, but he's not. He doesn't have the size to be that dominant guy, and that's the only thing that's going to hold him back.
Okay, Zadarius Smith, what'd you think yesterday?
I thought he was all right. He did okay.
Yeah.
I thought he did all right. Listen, it was his first time with the group. He's got to learn the verbiage. He's got to learn some things, and I think the more he starts to feel comfortable, I think you'll see the better out of him. I don't think he's comfortable yet. He don't look comfortable. He wasn't playing fast yet.
I like that dance he did on the sack with Rodriguez.
I don't care about all that, dude. All I wanted him to do is to be a solid player. All that fucking bullshit could go out the window. I just want him to come in here and do what they brought him in here for a reason. You know, just do that. Do that.
You know why I said that, right?
No, I don't.
Because he did the Donald Trump.
I don't give a fuck about that, dude. It's stupid.
The big piece of news out of yesterday for the Lions, negative news at least, was Ancelone's forearm injury.
Listen, he should have a clipboard in his hand in the next 8 weeks. It'll be fine. It's where he should be anyway.
I think it'll be
Let's
sooner.
get a chance. And I heard David
I
Long
think it'll be
Jr. is
sooner.
in here.
David Long.
They signed him.
Signed
no?
David Long today, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Get away.
There you go.
David Montgomery's going to love that.
Keep bringing in these has-beens, man. I love it. No.
Well, he's not going to start. It's going to be Rodriguez, who was one of their highest graded players yesterday, who was incredible.
Yeah, guys out there like Devin White available for weeks on end, and you did nothing. And don't tell me Devin White is not a good football player because He's already proven that he's
But he's not
Super
available
Bowl-
now.
Super Bowl fucking champion.
But now he's not available.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we worried about Anzalone at all?
No.
I'm not.
Yeah, neither am I.
No.
Neither am I. It opens up more Mike opportunities for Jack Campbell too, and that's where he thrives.
Well,
and
no,
Jack,
he's got to step up.
he's got to step
He's
up,
got to
but,
fucking step up.
but he's been very good.
Yes, yes.
He's been okay.
He's been very
all right.
good.
He's been all right.
How-
I can't give him very good. I'm sorry.
I know you don't.
Go ahead.
How do we feel about the secondary right now? Terry Arnold.
They're
Carlton
probably
Davis.
top 5 in the league.
I
right
think they
now.
might be the best secondary in the league.
In their division in the NFC, they're probably top 5.
I think they might be the best secondary in the league.
Is there any receiving core going forward and for the playoffs that you think that scares you?
What do you mean?
Like a group of pass catchers that they would have to
Correct.
go against.
Correct.
To go up against?
Yeah.
I think Philly.
See, doesn't worry me.
AJ Brown is dangerous. You know, Devontae Smith is fucking really good. I like the tight ends there. Yeah, I think you got to watch out for Philly. What am I wrong? I mean, you're saying pass catchers. You got Justin Jefferson over there in Minnesota. You better be wary of that because you know what he's done a few times.
Been there, done that.
Okay.
Been there, done that. Now, Goff had a very, very, very iffy game last week. We can all agree. It was
It wasn't
It was
iffy.
bad.
It was
If he
dog
was
shit.
was
fucking
dog shit.
terrible.
It wasn't
It was
even
dog
iffy. It was dog shit.
5 picks. Still got the win.
That's
Does-
Brett Favre shit right
Does yesterday's game put him back in the MVP race?
100%.
there. Absolutely it does.
24 for 29, 412 and 4 foot.
Realistically, which quarterback has played better than him this year from start to finish?
None.
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 Numbers wise, none.
Nobody.
None. There's guys that look the part and have
Josh
done
Allen,
good things, like
Allen's.
Lamar.
Herbert.
I'll be honest.
I will be honest with you, dude.
Herbert's start to the season was shaky.
Yeah.
He was
What
injured.
about Burrow, dude?
Burrow.
I was gonna
I
say.
mean, I
Burrow.
get it
That
that,
was
they've
mine.
only won fucking 3 games.
Joe
man.
Burrow's playing the best football. of
Who's
his
better
career.
than him?
No,
right
but
now?
he's losing games that it's history. Like the losses,
Yeah.
they're not losing because of him,
no.
No.
because
That's-
of Joe Burrow.
Burrow's downfall right now is the losses. Baker's fallen off a bit.
Well, Baker, the reason why he's falling off is because he ain't got no way to throw to.
Lamar, I still think we got to see a little bit more. Right now, for me, it's Jared Goff or Josh Allen.
Listen, I know this is going to sound stupid. I think you got to throw Kyler Murray in that same
I want to see more.
categories of.
I wanna
guys.
Could be eventually.
Yeah.
For certain.
This pass catching core for the Lions been on an absolute tear. Where do we rank them in the league right now?
I don't know if I can rank them, but I think it's a very underrated group of
I
pass
think
catchers.
top 5.
I'm trying.
Top 5 might be
Big
fair.
Top
You're-
5's fair.
Yeah, but who's above them?
I mean,
Who's playing consistently better as a pass catching core than
Jamar
them?
Chase and
No,
Chase is
but
not a
but,
core.
but all of the
Jamar Chase and
receivers.
Jamar Chase.
All of the receivers. You factor in all the pass catchers, the
The-
tight ends,
The Rams.
wide
Here you,
receiver
here you
three,
got the Rams. 2 guys are
Rams
fucking
are close.
monsters
Rams. I could do
when they're
that.
healthy.
can get on board with it.
Yesterday, Addison actually had a decent game, but he hasn't been consistent.
San Francisco without injury. I mean,
But they're all
They're
hurt.
injured. Ayuk ain't coming
but any
back.
guy that comes back, like Juwan Jennings,
I know Miami. If Jonnu Smith keeps playing at a tight end 1 level and Waddle actually gets re-involved,
But then you also need Tyreek Hill to be playing at a wide
correct.
receiver 1
So
level.
like right now, this is the best. They are playing better than any
Like
receiving core.
St. Brown is quietly having another insane season.
Yes.
He had a casual 2 TDs and 161 yards yesterday. That's casual for him. We're not even
J-Lo at 125.
124. Yeah, it's really tough to beat that.
They're playing stupid right now. Stupid. Speaking of that, we talked about core. Can we all agree? Where do we put Amon-Ra in the talks of best receivers in the league at the moment?
Chase,
Chase,
Jefferson.
Amon-Ra.
Yeah.
Do you contest that at
CD.
all? Huh?
CeeDee Lamb.
I don't think CD Lamb's playing better than Amon-Ra.
Well,
Right now.
fucking quarterback right now. So
Yeah.
you could say the same thing about Justin Jefferson when Kirk Cousins got hurt last year.
Right
No.
now, I think he's top 3.
He's top 5 for sure.
Right now, how many more games do we have this team losing?
Possibly 2.
I know we said 2 weeks ago that they're going to lose 2 more games. It might be 1.
Possibly 2.
It might be 1.
Yeah.
It might be 1. If they lock up the 1 seed
There you go.
going into the Niners game, they're probably going to beat the Niners out of disrespect.
Yeah.
And they're going to go balls out for that game.
Yeah.
And then I think after that they'll play, just because this is why I know this is a big source of concern right now is Dan Campbell playing guys too late. He does this because you get rusty. You get really rusty without doing that.
Their only loss left on the schedule is Minnesota January 5th.
It might be the case, yeah.
Maybe.
It might be the case.
And that's if Hendon Hooker that's if Hendon Hooker gets a start and nobody plays.
I could see a scenario where Bears 1 on Thanksgiving turns into the Bears Super Bowl. I could see that because the Bears have played, like historically, these Bears have played, the Eberflus Bears have played the Campbell Lions very close. I just think that the Lions are light years ahead of them at the moment. Of course, the following week at Detroit, the same thing happened last year. You won at Green Bay and then you lost. Like that was a slow track because of the weather the last 3 years, whatever reason. Well, it's a fast track with Love a little bit more healthy going into that game, that Thursday night game in a couple weeks. I can see that. I can maybe see Buffalo. If they lose, they would only lose 1 of those 3 games. I think they're going to win all 3 if this is the team they're currently fielding.
I agree. Realistically, if they play every game, they're not going to lose another game. If they play everybody in every game, they're not going to lose another game. But I don't think they will because I think they'll ultimately. Does Doug Peterson make it out of the season or no?
Should have already been fired. Should have been fired this morning.
This is
I
for
can't
you,
believe he's still there.
Sagittarius.
I'm shocked he's not done.
I can't believe he's still there.
I think it's crazy because he's a very good coach, and I don't know like how the end of his Philly tenure turned into what it was, and then of course what's going on right now. Like someone's gonna get
How do you
scapegoated, and it's
take
gonna be
over a
him.
team the last 2 years and have them playing at such a high level and just totally fucking shit the bed coming down?
Yeah,
the hill?
agreed.
You've got more young talent on that team than probably outside of Green Bay and Detroit. You have more young talent on that team than any other team in the league.
I saw this as a potential landing spot for Belichick. I read earlier. It was Diana Rossini from The Athletic, and this I think that would make a lot of sense. I think if you bring in someone that could unlock Trevor Lawrence, you get him maybe 1 more pass catcher. He probably doesn't even need that. When this receiving core is healthy, it's good. But you bring in someone that could figure it out for Trevor Lawrence, and then you revamp the defense a little bit because they have good guys on their defense. You get them to play well.
Listen, they have a lot of good guys on their defense.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
But they're not playing well. They're
why
playing
they're
awful.
getting fucking smoked the way they.
I have 2 things on this Doug Peterson thing before we move on. They're going into the bye week. If he makes it through tomorrow, maybe they were looking for somebody today. Maybe Shad Khan was at a tennis match. Who knows? If he makes it out of tomorrow going into the bye week, he's safe. And I'm going to say this, he might make it out of the season. They play Houston next week. After that, they have Tennessee, the Jets, the Raiders, Tennessee, and Indy.
But the expectations for them were challenge Houston, if not wild card.
Yes.
I remember last year it was we need to win the division, and they lost the division to Houston, and they collapsed doing it.
If they win 4 of the last 6 and they go 6-11, I don't know. Maybe they fire him. I think he's safe. That one's a coin flip. But I don't know if he makes it out of tomorrow. Let's pick tonight's game before we end. We actually have some breaking news from Dallas. When they were
Jerry
opening,
Jones gone.
no,
R.I.P. Jerry Jones.
no, when they were opening the roof tonight, a giant chunk of it fell onto the field
Okay.
in typical Dallas Cowboys fashion. So there are currently people in the rafters trying to secure pieces of the roof so they don't fall down.
And killed players tonight.
And yes, and kill somebody.
Hopefully, one of those pieces lands on top of Mike McCarthy.
I knew it
tonight.
was coming.
They're saying that there could be some defective pieces of
I'm
the
joking.
roof because this is its first time this is the first time they've opened it since October of 2022. So they're saying if they deem it not, there could be some issues where they have to go look at the whole roof, and it could delay the start of the game to make sure it is safe for people to be in the stadium.
Give me a break. That's what happens when you don't use it, buddy.
Do you think anybody here think the Cowboys pull this one off?
No.
I don't know.
Absolutely not.
Texans are a 7.5-point favorite. I am going to take the Texans. The over-under is 41.5. I'm going to take the over. I think the Texans will get close to hitting it themselves. And I've been talking Nico Collins up for the last 2 weeks. Give me a Nico Collins anytime. And his receiving over, let me pull it real quick. It's probably going to be lower because he's coming off injury. It's not. It's 75. I'll take him over the 75. I think he eats tonight.
Damn, we just got a spike in viewers on TikTok. Shout out to all of you. What do we think about the Steelers? You missed it earlier in the show, but you could catch our replays on YouTube Live. You could catch it in YouTube as soon as we sign off. And then Bruce, our producer, is going to work on getting our shows on Apple Music and Spotify, or Apple Podcasts and Spotify, a little bit quicker than he has been in the past. But thank you for being here. What do we think about the Steelers? We all agree the Steelers are good. I think the Steelers are the best team in the AFC at the moment. He thinks the Bills are, but the Steelers are second. You think the Steelers are the best team?
Pittsburgh.
Second.
I'm going with the Cowboys to lose. I'm going with the Texans to cover the 7.5. I like the under in this one. I don't think the Texans have that step on your neck energy. And I think Dallas cannot afford to get embarrassed at home. Can I give you guys a sports stat? Can I give you a really fun stat?
Please.
In the year of our Lord, 2024, only one professional sports franchise has not won in their home building this year. I'm talking all 32 hockey teams. I'm talking all 30 NBA teams. I'm talking all 30 MLB teams. And I'm talking 31 of 32 NFL teams have gotten a win in their building, and Jake Paul has gotten a win in this building. The only team that hasn't won at home in the year of 2024, including the playoffs, and going back to the beginning of the year, is the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow, they're cursed.
They haven't won at that stadium this calendar year.
Wonder why the ceiling's falling.
You're taking Houston?
Yes.
Over, under?
Under.
Bruce?
Houston,
Over, under?
41 and a half. I'm going to go the over.
One more piece of news to touch on before we end. The Giants in their bye week have named a new starting quarterback.
Oh, no.
They have officially benched Daniel Jones and put him third on the depth chart. Second on the
hurt,
depth
no?
chart. Huh?
I
No,
thought Daniel Jones was hurt.
no.
Daniel Jones
pulled.
has been benched.
Just
He's
pulled.
the third quarterback in the depth chart. Number 2, Drew Lock. And number 1, your starting quarterback for the New York Football Giants, once again, back from the dead, Tommy DeVito, baby.
He's back.
He is back.
He's back.
It's Tommy time. Timmy Cutlets. Here we go. Aren't you excited?
No.
Why?
Because he's dog shit.
Well, so is Daniel Jones.
Here's the justification. Here's the justification. And I agree with you. It should be Drew Lock, right? It should be Drew Lock.
Yeah.
No.
So the justification is what happened was there was initially it was we're going to bring back Joe Shane and Dable next year. They've since been let known that no, your job's not safe unless you prove you can win some games down the stretch. Drew Lock probably is the better quarterback, but because he didn't come in until summer camp, right? That's when he showed up. Dable thinks that Tommy DeVito gives him the best chance to win because he's been in the system.
That's true.
And he's won games for them before. So he wants to see what he has with Tommy DeVito first
TV, baby.
before he moves over to Drew Lock. Obviously, Drew Lock won some games for Seattle last year. He won a Monday night game, if I remember correctly. I don't know why they're not starting him, but you know what? You got 4 Italian Americans in the building right now that are all for Tommy Cutlets.
And this week,
back under center.
I'm not.
oh, whatever.
Dog
You
shit.
suck.
Dude, you need to stop.
You
right
suck.
now. They have a better chance of winning with Locke than they do him.
Well,
That's bullshit.
Probably,
see-
and
that's
we'll see.
bullshit.
We'll see Drew Lock, I think, at some point.
We could see Tommy DeVito taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this coming weekend. Anything to add?
Oh, Baker lights them up.
Anything to add?
No.
Anything to add?
God bless Tommy DeVito.
God bless Tommy DeVito. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. Make sure to follow socials, Instagram and Twitter at Tip Balls, TikTok at Tip Balls Podcast. In just 7 days' time, we'll be giving away 2 sets of 2 tickets to the Detroit Lions Thanksgiving Day game. You can figure out the information about that giveaway on our socials, Instagram and Twitter at Tip Balls, TikTok at Tip Balls Podcast. If you are joining the contest, make sure to share the post on your story for an extra chance, an extra entry at winning those tickets. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Music, you can find us on YouTube. Remember to click subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified when we go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, sometime around 5. Thank you guys so much for listening. We will be back Wednesday.